So I had a couple that sold a vacation property last year. They'd had it for a number of years, and so it had gone up a lot in value. And by selling it, there's a capital gain, right? Because it's secondary property, and there's a capital gain. And so even after maxing out their RSPs and doing tax loss selling and anything we could to keep their income down, they still had quite a large capital gain. And so that went on their, half of that went on their income, and they had to pay some taxes. And so they paid that in April. And then just recently, they got a notice from CRA saying that they're on installments. And so I'm going to talk about installments in this video because a lot of clients it's coming up right now. So point number one is CRA looks and goes, hey, you had big income last year. You owed us money. We think you're going to have another big income year this year. And here's some installments we'd like you to pay. It's a suggestion. It's not a requirement. Sometimes it is, but if it was like a one-time thing, this is the first time you've ever had to owe, it could be just a suggestion. And so you want to look over that. And if your income, if you didn't sell another property this year, your income's not going to be really high, and it'll probably go back to what it was before, and you might not have to pay. So this is a good conversation to have with your accountant and see what is my income going to look like this year? Do I have enough already being sent to CRA? And it is oftentimes it is. You can elect not to pay it, right? You can say I'm not going to pay. There are consequences if you're wrong. So keep that in mind. Point number two is, what if you don't pay? What if you just shred the notice, and don't do anything? So you want to be careful because you have to pay at the end of the year. CRA is going to give you interest and penalties, and the interest is 9%, so it's pretty significant. So I'd be very careful of if they say you might want to pay. Even if your income's going to be down, you might want to put a little bit there. You just don't want to have those interest and penalties. If you don't have to pay at the end of the year, that's great. Nothing. You're fine. Hey, they don't owe you. You don't owe them. Whatever it is. And so if you don't pay and you don't owe anything, it's all good. So point number three is what if CRA you pay and you didn't need to? So what happens then? Well, CRA says thank you very much, and the CRA will attribute you interest if say that you filed your taxes and they're late getting the money back to you. They'll give you some interest there, and there's on the website it kind of shows the interest rates and whatever. But I talked to a few accountants and they all said, yeah, you're not getting the interest on your installment payments. Point number four is that with the rise in GIC rates in 2022, all of a sudden clients, GICs were 1% before, the interest they were earning wasn't that much. Now they're getting some larger interest payment from their GICs, and they're getting installment notices because of that, or their installment notices is going up. And so this is creating opportunity to look at hey, interest in GIC is fully taxable. Is there better investments? But if you you got your asset allocation, you've got so much interest income from bonds or GICs, that rise in that can really boost up your income. And if that is the case, I would definitely be paying my installments. If it's from investment income and it's going to be continuing to come, yeah, that, it's probably not going to go down. And then point number five is you're required to pay. So it's not a suggestion anymore. You are required to pay. Is if you owe $3,000 when you did your taxes, and in either of the previous 2 years you owed more than $3,000, $1,800 in Quebec, this government's going to say, hey, you need to, because you're owing too much at the end of the year. These are great conversations to have with your accountant or your tax professional and going over them. Hope that helps.